boys? Another day, another live. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really in the mood for this one, to be honest. Aura's feeling a little bit low right now. I don't know why, really. I try not to question these things. It's like, oh, I'm not in a characteristically high octane mood, but who gives a fuck? Let's just get on with it anyway. And what I found to be true is belief follows action. So even though I'm not in the mood to make this particular live, by me doing it, I'm still showing up. Yeah, I'm still putting points on the board, and I really want this particular live stream to encourage you to do the thing, even if you don't want to do it. Yeah, because belief does follow action. So yeah, I made the commitment yesterday, rather sporadically or spontaneously on the live, that I was going to commit to doing a live stream every single day for the rest of this year. And I was fully aware as I was explaining this that there's going to be days when I just don't want to do them. There's going to be days where I'm short on time and my mind starts coming up with these reasons why I shouldn't do it. Very much like your mind will come up with reasons why you shouldn't approach that girl or join that network or go on that solo trip. Like, the mind is designed to keep us safe, to play it safe. We've got that scared little boy inside of us who just wants to be safe. Yeah, that almost like going back into the womb. So yeah, this is like maybe it's just a different type of aura. I think that's what it is. I think maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, I thought aura was always feeling good, but I think there's different auras. Like right now, I feel very grounded. Even though I don't feel in the best of moods, I feel very grounded and I feel connected with myself, and I feel a lot of empathy right now, which is quite nice. So yeah, it's interesting. Maybe aura doesn't always have to be feeling good. Maybe it's just owning whatever state that you're in and being okay with that, and knowing that everything can change. And that's why I've titled this video, Everything Can Change. It's a concept that I've always loved. The knowledge that the actions that we're taking now, they may not pay off for another 6 months, another year, another 2 years. Yeah, maybe you're working a job right now in a city that you hate and you're surrounded by people that you don't really like. One of the best mindsets that has always benefited me is future projection. Yeah, like meeting myself in the future and doing everything within my power on a daily basis to invest into the identity that I want to embody. Yeah, so like, what would the most, is auric a word? It is now. Like, I'm trying to think of the adjective of aura. Like, what would the most auric, abundant, successful version of Kristian, like, how would he act? Well, he would show up even when he didn't feel like it. Yeah, he would go over and have that conversation even if he didn't want to. He would delight his network beyond belief, even if he was in a good mood. Out of a rut, just give to other people. Hence the reason I'm doing these daily live streams. Like, me giving to you makes me feel good, and hopefully the messages are received well. But yeah, just understanding that everything can change. I've been in some grotty positions in my life where I was working, like, let's call them low tier jobs, like cleaning toilets at a local zoo. I worked at a caravan park. I was a lifeguard in America on very little money. I worked in a museum as a public speaker, like, commuting to somewhere every day that I really didn't want to be there. And I don't know if it's nature or nurture, but I don't know if you feel the same way as well, but in my mind, I remember feeling like this, like having this thought when I was surprisingly young, maybe like 5 or 6 years old. I remember being in the car with my mum. We were driving somewhere, and I looked out the window, and I just had this like shot of inspiration. I don't know where it came from, but I truly believed that I was special from a young age, right? And like, that's a weird thought to have when you're that age. But I remember it vividly, and it's like, that's like that mindset of believing that I'm special, that I've been put on this earth for a reason. It's always allowed me to navigate the vicissitudes of life because I see God's plan as greater than my own, right? Like, whenever I'm in a bad place, whenever I'm struggling, whenever my mental clarity is not where I want it to be, it's putting that faith into a higher power, knowing that everything can change, knowing that walking through hell and finding a way to enjoy it. But yeah, knowing that everything can change, because I know there's a lot of guys who follow my stuff and your dating life is not where you want it to be, your life as a whole is not where you want it to be, maybe your location sucks, maybe the job that you're working sucks, and you're looking towards the future and it feels like this void. But I think this is where faith is so important, like actually having faith, whether it's God, whether it's in your greater self, whether it is a higher power. I don't really think you lose anything by believing, yeah, especially believing in yourself. Yeah, I get comments a lot being like, oh, this guy's full of himself, this guy's arrogant. I get a lot of comments as well where guys label me as a psychopath. I mean, it is what it is. I try not to criticize anybody for doing anything, because if I were them, I would do exactly the same thing. That's Dale Carnegie, how to make friends, how to win friends and influence people. But yeah, you don't lose anything by believing. It's like, why would you not want to be your own biggest cheerleader? I don't understand why loving yourself is a pejorative. I don't understand why people have a hard time accepting people who believe that they're special. Like, why would you not want to love yourself? Like, why is loving yourself a sin? You know, maybe you were brought up in a household where you were ashamed for having empire visions or believing in yourself. And that's why I always say to you, surround yourself with the right people, right? You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You do soak up life through osmosis. And if you're in a toxic environment, you're going to have a toxic mindset and you're going to attract toxic people. But yeah, just understand that everything can change. But I think for things to change, you need to change. Yeah? If nothing changes, nothing changes. But I want to kick the live stream off. So you'll remember from yesterday's live stream, if you watched it, I responded to a comment from a guy who posted just a really good comment, very well articulated, high stream of consciousness, and he basically responded to my response. I just want to read it out because I'm often saying to you boys, I'm very specific about the people that I'm looking to work with, and I know immediately if I want to work with somebody or not. If I don't work, I will tell you, right? I don't want people coming into my lifestyle, getting mentored by me personally, traveling the world with me, if I don't like you as a person, if I don't think that you are the right fit to just do life with me. You know, like I'm saying to you, audit the people you're spending time with. That's more important for me because this is my lifestyle, right? So I need to be selective, very much like the way you'd be selective with dating partners. I think we have to take the same approach with social connections, because if you invite the wrong people, you start to go down the wrong path. So anyway, he responded to the video. Fucking legend. Saw the whole thing. Felt my testosterone spike. Cool. I'm 27, so you were close. I thought he was 25. That was just an assumption. Live in Australia. I've been doing cold approach for 4 months, but I guess it doesn't matter. Still a beginner. You're defo right about the location thing. So basically, I explained to him yesterday that environment is everything, and he made the point that the women that he's been approaching at the moment, he was getting the impression that they weren't valuing his approach. So the advice I gave to him is, it may well be your location, right? Go where you're valued. And for you, that might be learning how to make money online, having a remote job, and then your location independent, right? I explained it in the live stream yesterday that I think that should be at the top of every man's priority in 2024, right? The top of every man's agenda for this year is to become a sovereign, autonomous individual who's not confined to one particular postcode. If you have a job which allows you to make money from anywhere in the world, like that is, I think that's one of the highest forms of personal power, right? Not like if like when I explain like everything can change. Like if that's your empire vision for this year, like I want to be able to make money remotely, whether that's programming or high ticket sales or creating your own personal brand online. I think that cold approach and international travel go hand in hand. So if you can find a way to make money online, like we live in the land of opportunity, a few Google searches and then just get started, I think it's the best thing that you can do. So that was the location thing. And the looks, I guess you had the looks thing as well, I guess because I had a glow up and realized that people treat me differently. You're also correct about the external validation. There's a good bit actually. So I said to him that you should basically just be honest in terms of your overall state. This is really important, like state transparency. If you're nervous, just declare it. If you're feeling a certain way, like I'm feeling a certain way right now, I don't want to jump onto this live stream being like, yeah, bro, aura super high, let's go, let's crush it. I'm feeling so good. I'm a like Ubermensch, like everything's great and rosy in my life. Like I came onto this live stream and I declared openly from the offset that I'm not feeling like I'm not feeling like my highest self right now, but that's okay because I'm just doing the best with what I have. And this translates into everything that we do. You're not in the mood. That's okay. Let's just use the energy. Let's just use the energy that we've got to the best of our abilities. So yeah, the point about being honest about your state was helpful. I realize I'm more focused on short-term predicators of success, like getting numbers or dates, basically quantity rather than long-term goal of quality. Yeah, it's interesting. I think we can definitely get brainwashed by the dating process. Like you can get good at collecting numbers. Yeah, you can get good at collecting numbers and Instagrams, but then if they're not actually leading anywhere, and more importantly, if you're not getting the contact details or having experiences with women who you actually like and value, then I think it's good at the start. I think numbers at the start of your cold approach career are essentially trophies of validation. Yeah, they're validation that you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing. Yeah, like numbers are easy to measure. So it's like if I went out today and I got 10 numbers. Last weekend I went out and I got one number, right? If that was your position, then you've had an increase. It's easy to track the numbers. But really it sounds more abstract, but it should always be, for me, I track how I'm feeling, right? Like how am I feeling? Like do I feel improvement in myself holistically when I'm going out there? Do I feel less stress, less anxiety? Am I making greater cosmic connections? Am I actually attracting the women that I want? I think that is later on in the line. I think if you're only 4 months into cold approach, it should be focused on volume, 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 like reps, 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 reps. Like I think people always underestimate the importance of volume. Like I'll get comments and be like, Kristian, I went out, I did my first approach, it didn't go anywhere. What should I do? And I'm like, bro, like what? You've done one approach. Congratulations. Like, come back to me when you've done like 1,000 more. And I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, just like, how many approaches have you done, bro? Go out, approach, approach, approach. But you can underestimate the importance of volume. Like, it just is a thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you've gone to the gym once and you benched one rep and you're like, my chest didn't grow, it's like you're just gonna get laughed out the gym. It's a lifetime commitment. Yeah, it's not day game or night game, it's life game. So, but yeah, if you're 4 months in, yeah, definitely just focus on the volume for now. Yeah, like cold approach in itself is the ultimate self-improvement exercise. So you're going to be improving yourself holistically. Like the more you open, the more you close. Like that's a simple mantra to live by. And the more time that you spend in conversations, the more you get to know yourself in conversation. Like you start to, especially if you're recording the audio of your conversations, because then you can audit yourself. Maybe you're speaking too fast. Maybe you're not giving the girl long enough to answer. Maybe your conversations are not lasting long enough, so you're not building enough investment. Maybe this is not really an audio thing, but maybe you need to pursue more variety. Maybe you keep going to the same places and approaching the same type of girls at the same time in the same city. Maybe you need to have a weekend away to pursue more variety, to give yourself a hard reset. Yeah, so maybe if you live in Melbourne, you could go to Sydney or Adelaide. My Australian geography is not the best. Or maybe you would just have a trip. Maybe you would just schedule a trip this year to Europe. Like I've worked with guys who are based in Australia. They flew out to join me in various cities around Europe. And yeah, the Europeans absolutely love the Australians. I remember coaching one guy in Krakow and yeah, very good time. He was actually doing like a month long like European jaunts, and then he scheduled working with me within that month. So yeah, you put at the end of the comment that you were considering reaching out and working with me at some point once you get your finances up. So yeah, I thought I would just put this out there that I haven't finished actually. Let me just he put at the end, also, after hearing someone else read out my question, it does sound very pessimistic, doomer-like. I'm far from it. I don't know if God exists or if fate or destiny is real, but I think it's more advantageous to believe that everything happens for a reason. I agree. I truly believe that all my life experiences, decisions led me down this journey for a reason. I'm currently in the stage where I am building up my financials, but in the near future, I'll reach out. Thanks. So yeah, in terms of vetting somebody that I would want to work with, he ticks all the boxes. Like it's a delight to like. This is like, I believe that the internet and, like, let's say the algorithms, I believe that it's God working in disguise, and I believe that this vehicle of cold approach, which I use to speak from, I believe that I am attracting the people into my life who I was always destined to meet, if that makes sense. So it's like cold approach is the glue that binds us all together, and then the more time we spend around each other, we realize it was never about cold approach in the first place. It was about us. It was about our masculine journey, our masculine renaissance, becoming all we can be, traveling the world together, having amazing experiences. So yeah, no, I really appreciated. I really appreciate it. Sorry, let me just put my teeth back in. I really appreciate you taking the time to write all this stuff out. And yeah, like I said, it was a delight reading it. You appear a high vibration, high conscious individual. You probably got very good aura. You're a critical thinker about yourself. You're not just one of these people who just comments like cold approach doesn't work. Full stop. It's like, right, cool, that achieved nothing. But no, I like the way that you write, I like the way that you think, and I like the way that you're projecting. And yeah, just being able to actually be critical about yourself, I think that's a high level skill. Being able to sit back, and the point that you make about after hearing someone else read out my question, it makes you think more, right? And that's why I try and bang the point across, like beat the drum. It's almost impossible to go through life trying to do everything on your own. Like, one conversation that you have with one individual, it can change the entire course of your life. Yeah, everything can change. It's the rooms that you're in, it's the places you're positioning yourself, it's the network that you have. There's far too many guys today who are just ruminating, and they're the perpetual lone wolf, right? And they think, because the ego gets in the way. Like, the point of the ego is it's designed to be right. Yeah, and that's why when someone disagrees with us, it can feel like an attack. Yeah, the ego is designed to be right, and it's a mechanism for self-preservation. So if someone comes along with an alternative viewpoint, the instant desire is to reject that because the ego wants to be right. But one of the best things that I've learned really, is silencing the ego. Not removing it completely, because I think ego is healthy. I think, especially when you have obnoxious visions and wildly ambitious goals like I have, I believe ego is a powerful tool. But when it comes to learning, like, I've never really liked the concept of like going to every room thinking you're the dumbest person there, because it's almost like dumbing down my own credentials. I don't walk into every room thinking I'm the dumbest person there. I usually walk into every room thinking I'm the best person there. However, if I then meet somebody in that room who has something to say, who challenges my point of view, but does it from a place of love rather than from a place of fear, then I'm prepared to listen. And I think there's very few people who I meet in today's world, apart from the guys in my personal network, there's very few guys who know how to have a healthy debate. And I'm still learning this, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, if someone like comes hard at me with an opinion, just try like coming from that place of fear, like try just like push me down, then yeah, I do feel resistance to that. But if someone can just present something in a way, like maybe I post a video and someone is able to disagree in a way which demonstrates social intelligence. Like, Kristian, I've watched this video. I appreciate you took the time to put this together. However, in my personal experience, here's what I found to be the case. That's why I prefer how I rather than how to. Yeah, there's far too many commentators online who are creating these how-to videos, like a 12-year-old kid who's telling me how to build generational wealth. It's like, rather than making how to, why don't you just make a how I'm planning to build generational wealth? Because then I can become part of the becoming. Like, you're trying to present yourself as a figure of authority when you've not created anything. So yeah, just being able to have these debates with people, like, listen, here's what I did, here's what worked for me, hopefully it can work for you as well. Like, that's just a far more socially intelligent, I think. So continuing with the concept that everything can change, I want to hit you boys with a big healthy dose of motivation, which I hope inspires you on your journey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out a client experience / testimonial from last year. So I was going through some of my stuff, and I found this. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to read this to the boys during the live because I think it's going to be very useful. So this is going to be useful if maybe you're at the start of your journey right now, or maybe you've been out of the game for a while, you've lost some momentum, maybe you've lost some belief in yourself, you're starting to lose faith in the process. I want to read you this to show you that everything can change. Remind yourself as well that you're only ever one great approach away from everything changing. I think that's a super practical mindset that you can take after today's live stream. When you are going out there and you are speaking with girls, you're only ever one great approach from everything changing, right? You could get 10 blowouts in a row, and on that 11th approach, you make a cosmic connection with a beautiful woman, and she could then become that wife-worthy woman material. Like, you don't know, right? Like, everything can change. You're only ever one approach away from everything changing. It's just making sure that you have the mental stamina and the emotional capacity to be able to go through this, because it's very easy to give up before you've even got started. So let me just read this to you. And hopefully by listening to this, you get a lot of motivation. So, right. I spent the past weekend with Kristian in Manchester developing my daytime call approach. In short, fucking amazing and life-changing. And by the way, I'm going to post this onto my community feed later so you can actually see it. So I'm just not just like writing messages to myself. This is also available as well in the Renaissance Room. So the Renaissance Room is basically a free online community that you get access to when you download my free online course, Conversation Killer. So you get the free course and you get the free community. So yeah, shit ton of fucking value there. If you've not got the free online course yet, I'll link it below after this live stream. First link in the comments, you can get my free online course, which gives you everything you need to get started and get results from Cold Approach. And then as a beautiful added bonus, you also get access to this private community, the Renaissance Room. So guys in there will find other wings in their city. I'll post in there sometimes. Yeah, it's a community which is basically away from all the other platforms. So yeah, that's a thing. If you want to access it, just get the free course. It's free, so why wouldn't you do it? So anyway, I spent the past weekend with Kristian in Manchester developing my daytime call approach. In short, fucking amazing and life-changing. Long form. There is no way I can fit all of the positives into one post. It would take 3 days to read because the experience was just 3 days of positive progress. As awesome as it is to describe this stuff, living it was a million times better. So a little bit about him. I'm 37 years old and I've already done a lot of shit. So I wasn't planning on coming to Manchester to be a wallflower. I approached my absolute arse off for 3 days. He did. And that's what I'm saying. Volume, volume, volume. It was challenging, particularly at the beginning, but I expected it, so just kept moving forward as aggressively as I could. Beautiful mindset. There were plenty of successes, but the main thing that happened was that my eyes started to open to see what was possible. I love that sentence. There were plenty of successes, but the main thing that happened was that my eyes started to open to see what was possible. This is why I describe Day Game as the decentralized skill set of the awake 1%. Right, I'll say that again because I appreciate it's a bit abstract. Day game is the decentralized skill set of the awake 1%. Right? When you day game, your life changes. You become a different person and you see the world differently. You realize that the majority of people living today, they're sleepwalking through life. They're bots, they're NPCs, they're slaves to a machine. They are swiping their life away on algorithmic, oversaturated dating apps. They're settling for low quality girls in grotty nightclubs. Going hard through this process wakes you up, right? Especially in the world that we're living in now with AI, the technological, roboticized society where a lot of people, basically everybody, is going to be replaced. But the one thing that AI can't replace is community, right? Human connection, building meaningful relationships. So this is why Day Game right now, 2024, this is the best time to learn it, because while the rest of society are sleepwalking through life and becoming more and more enslaved, then you're going to be the guy who's not walking through life. You're going to be the guy who can crusade through the world, make cosmic connections, and live a life beyond the base. So Day Game is a decentralized skill of the awake 1%. Okay, so yeah, that's beautiful. Opening your eyes to see what's possible. I don't know if you've had that epiphany yourself, bro. Like when you're learning this skill, maybe you haven't started yet. If not, then get the free online course. It's a good way to just get kickstarted. I basically give you the entire process of like A to Z. How even the most introverted of guys can get started and get results. So yeah, click there'll be a link in the comments. But this was just the first step on a longer journey. The next phase. So a few highlights from our adventures. So now he's going to basically just talk about the highlights of The adventures. So number closing, a lovely, sleek, well-dressed girl at a crowded bus stop. I remember that. Me and Danny, one of Kristian's former students, on day 2, and both of us simultaneously number closing together. I remember that. Like, it was on Market Street in Manchester. So one guy was like on the bottom of the street, the other guy was like up here, and they were both talking to girls, and then they were both number closing at the same time. And I felt like a proud father. I was like, this is so cool. I was like, yes, I'm making shit happen. This is nice. Go Team Renaissance. Seriously. This is nice. Seriously. Show me another dating coach out there who's doing that. Undergrad and grad simultaneously closing on a busy street. Watching Kristian's cold approach, which is frankly ludicrously confident at this point. Having a great conversation with a Colombian fitty who worked from home, only to find out she's an escort. I work from home. Oh, what do you do? Escort. Talking about business, God, travel, society, basically all sorts with Kristian over the course of the weekend. Literally walking straight into a parking meter as I opened a Portuguese waitress, looking like an absolute tit, then getting her number anyway. Having one girl literally leap away as if I was a crocodile as I tried to stop her politely, and just find it hilarious rather than being annoyed about being rejected. And then after a bunch of nothing opens on a time trial, end up getting the number of a girl working in the women's section, in the women's beauty section of Harvey Nichols department store. If you know that shop, those girls are not exactly ugly. On a scale of 1 to 10, she was Harvey Nichols hot. Yeah, so basically close the girl inside Harvey Nichols, which is, bro, like that's the power of momentum. Do you know what I mean? That is the power of momentum. When you first start off your cold approach journey, you're going to feel very introverted and very like scared of the world. But then the more approaches you do, the more your confidence grows, the more you develop as a man, you start to do more and more audacious things. And I love that part of cold approaches, hitting that level of godly frequency where you truly believe that you can do anything. Like, I've never done anything in my life which compares to the feeling that riding on godly frequency through cold approach gives you. Like, it's just a beautiful thing, like godly frequency. Just feeling as though you can do anything, like mad. Opening an Instagram model waiting for an Uber, her missing her Uber, then basically helping her navigate to find another, and realizing that these girls are normal and not out of my league. 100%. This is another thing about everything can change. It's the beliefs that you hold. Like, what do I believe to be true about the world that isn't? Right? So he number closed an Instagram model. The same thing happened actually with Ephraim out here in Paphos. So Ephraim's gonna publish that video on his channel in a couple of weeks. So like closing Instagram models, yeah, these girls who've got like 60, 100K on their profile, where most guys are like, oh, she's out of my league, she'd never stop and talk to me on the street, I have to, do all this other bullshit in order to get notice in her DMs. No, you can cut through all the bullshit, you can go straight to the source, you can have a conversation with her, and as long as you have developed yourself holistically, hey bro, you're in. So getting, this bit's important, getting a huge life lesson on the last approach and number close of the weekend. I want to post about that separately, but in short, she was fucking gorgeous and a little taller than me, and I doubted myself. But with a quick word from Kristian, I went after it, had a great conversation, and then enthusiastic number close. Yeah, this is where I actually got the term going after what you want rather than settling for what you think you can get. It was a conversation that we had. It was going after what you want rather than settling for what you think you can get. So the guy in question thought that this girl was unobtainable to him because she was taller than him, but all it needed was a prompt from me. I can't remember what I said. I think I just said something like, you might as well. Just like that. It's like, yeah, you might as well. And I just kept walking. And then that's all you needed to go in. Yeah, if he's on his own, he gets in his head, he thinks too many steps ahead, he experiences failure in advance, doesn't do the approach, then goes home and complains that, oh, I can't approach taller girls. Yeah, because you're not approaching taller girls. That's why you have that belief. And then, like I say, you're only ever one approach away from everything changing. Yeah, so if you think that your height is an issue right now, all you need is one approach where you approach a girl who is taller than you for your whole reality to be shattered. That then becomes your new normal. Now you can get taller girls. Now you realize that you were just being bombarded by your own bullshit. Now you're free from your own bullshit because you took action. Yeah, belief follows action. Belief follows action. Write that down so you actually remember it. And then getting the number, fucking hell, still going. Getting the number of a lovely exotic air hostess. She wants to meet up soon. And then opening several women who are on the phone, one even on a voice call, and realizing that their friends basically go out the window with a strong approach. One sexy little blonde was on the phone to her sister the whole time, but she gave me a number, and now she wants to meet up as well. Getting 10 numbers in 3 days. All of the women that I found on the range from attractive to absolutely fine as fuck. Knowing that this is only the beginning is even better. And then Kristian's coaching was absolutely top tier. There's no describe it in the post because there is so much subtlety, empathy, and skill involved. Aside from the technical elements, it's also just a reflection of who he is as a person. I came with serious intent to improve, but also hopefully to have fun. Kristian's course provide both in spades. Thank you for all that you do, Kristian, from the videos you put out to let someone like me know that you're out there, to the care you take with the delivery of the coaching. This weekend was a fucking magnificent experience. Until we meet again, brother. And then he put a final message to you, the viewer. To lads in here, wherever you are on your journey, Kristian's assistance will take you to the next level. I look forward to seeing some of the other Renaissance warriors out in the field soon. We'll take over any city we land in with. We'll take over any city we land in within 2 weeks. Actually, made that 2 days. Beautiful. Yeah, that's why I do this. You know, to read things like that. Like, I don't just want to help you with your dating life. I want to help you change your whole life entirely. And yeah, my coaching's evolved a lot. So this was last year. So this is when I used to offer like weekend things, but now my coaching is way more valuable. So he was getting results here, but now my coaching now is a million times better. So basically the way that I see it is 1 day that you spend with me is worth a year on your own. Like, that's the way that I see it. Like, 1 day that you spend with me is worth a year on your own. So what I offer now is I don't just offer like a weekend or like a single day. It's a dedicated year of coaching, right? It's a full year of dedicated coaching. So the way that I like to describe it is it's a private members club where you get coaching from me. So I split my coaching into 3 carefully crafted phases: immersion, network, and lifestyle. So first of all, we work together in a city of your choosing. We have a 5-day, right? A 5-day one-on-one immersion experience where I give you the entire cold approach playbook and I hold you accountable for your actions, so that by the end of our 5 days together, you've got everything you need to be going on multiple dates a week. So that's just the start though. And this is the point that I really want to make clear, because I know there's a lot of guys who follow my stuff and you're considering working with me this year. I really want to express just in this little part what you're actually getting, so it's crystal clear. The 5 days that we spend together in person, whether it's in Barcelona, Krakow, Buenos Aires, wherever we work together, that's just the start, right? It's not just a case of, right, 5 days are finished, bye, on to the next client. This is a year, right? It's a year of private mentorship. It's a year of access, right? So we work together for 5 days. Then you get access to my private network, the Entourage, okay? You have a full year of access to my private network where you can connect with all my other guys, like-minded Renaissance warriors. You get access to our group coaching calls. You connect with us in our private WhatsApp group, so accountability galore. And then the beautiful, what really separates my stuff from everybody else is because we're connected for an entire year, you then have an open invitation to travel the world with me. Yeah, so whatever city I'm in, you can come and join me, right? So I'm in Cyprus right now. Ephraim, who I worked with in Warsaw of last year around March and April time, he's now here with me for a month, right? Like that's what the membership is, right? He's here with me for the month. We're sprinting together. We go to gyms together. We're traveling to different cities together. I'm giving him more coaching. We're doing live streams together. I'm helping him leverage his own online business. He's got his YouTube channel now. He's like well over 1,000 subs. Do you see what I'm saying? This is holistic life game, right? I'm not just helping you skyrocket your day game. Like, I'll help you with that. You'll make more progress with me than you'd make with anybody else, especially on your own. But that's just the start. We do the coaching, then you get access to the network, and then you have an open invitation for the entire year to come and join me and travel the world with me. So basically what that means is, if in the highly unlikely event you're not happy by the end of those 5 days, I'm basically working with you for free for the entire year until you are. Right, so like it's because I don't want you to just be successful for the short term. I want you to be successful for the long term, right? So yeah, that's the coaching in a nutshell. Because I hope that clarifies things for people. I'm just having messages from guys like, oh, do you offer single days? Like, do you offer like weekend things? Like, they're just like these empty hits of motivation, right? Like, for some guys, it's good, but the way that I'm operating now, I'm speaking to a different type of person. I'm speaking to the person who doesn't just want to learn a skill, but wants to become part of a lifestyle which is nurturing the skill. That's what we need. It's sustained effort over a consistent period. So yeah, there's a link below. If you want to book in a free 30-minute consultation call, join the Entourage, join the network, join the lifestyle. You have access to me. You get mentored by me personally. And it's just a lot of fun as well, as you can see from this report. I will post this on the community feed later, so you can read it, and then yeah, you can get the free course as well, and then access the free community. So you can actually be like, oh yeah, cool, that's legit. But yeah, I try and put the testimonials out there it's just social proof, right? Like we need social proof. Like it's a weird industry and you want to make sure you're investing in someone who's legit. But yeah, I let my clients do the speaking for me. But yeah, I just think this is just a beautiful testimonial. And it shows what's possible when you take action. But yeah, in terms of reminding ourselves that everything can change, what I would love you to do at the end of this call is just write down, right, in the notes section of your phone, what does your ideal reality look like? Like, who do you actually want to become this year? And then rather than setting that intention to become that person by the end of the year, become that or attempt to become that person by the end of January, right? Reduce the time frame in order to accelerate the growth, right? If I say to you, I want to become fluent in Spanish, and that's the agenda, right? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But if I said to you, I want to become fluent in Spanish by the end of the year, okay, now we have a deadline attached to it, but work expands to fill the time allocated to it. So if I said, I want to become fluent in Spanish by the end of January, great. Now I've got a condensed time period and I'm going to be going harder than ever because I've only got like a week. Do you understand what I'm saying? So whenever you're setting goals, try and give yourself an imminent deadline, because if you're just saying like, I don't know, I want to become fluent in Spanish by the end of the year, then it's going to take you the entire year, then life gets in the way. But if you give yourself a condensed time period, then you're going to go hard. You're going to wake up every day feeling like a man possessed because you know you have to hit it. And then you can add some accountability as well. It's like, I want to become fluent the way that I would write that affirmation is Kristian became fluent in Spanish by the end of January, right? He did this in a matter of days. And I would then post that affirmation onto like social media platforms to give me accountability. And it doesn't actually matter. Like even if because realistically, you're probably not going to become fully fluent in Spanish by the end of 10 days, but it doesn't actually matter. It's like, what's that thing? It's like shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. It's an accelerant. It's a way to just get there faster. So yeah, so just give yourself a condensed time period. So just really practical. Write down what your ideal reality looks like, right? Where do you want to be living in the world? How much money do you want to be making? You can either do that, how much money do you want to be making a month or a year? I prefer a year. So like, where do you want to be living in the world? How much money do you want to be making a year? What are you doing for work? That's really important. Like, what are you actually doing to make money? What are you doing? Like, how are you delivering value to the world? Okay, so get really specific on this. Like, where you want to be living, how much money you want to be making a year. What does your mental health look like? Yeah, like the important shit, basically. Like, what sort of body do you have? Do you have a car? If so, what color is it? What, like, or just get as specific as possible, and then write down the affirmation in the third person. So if your name's Ben, just be like, Ben is making 100K a year. He's living a fully independent international lifestyle. He's currently living in Thailand, where he's having an abundance of experience with abundance of beautiful women. Ben is as happy as he's ever been. Something like that. You can like write your own affirmation, but I find it's better to write it in the third person as if someone else is saying it, and also write it as if it's already happened, because then you can start to embody that. You're investing into that identity, and then it's easier to act as if, because if you were making 100K a year, how would you act? How would you spend your money? How would you treat people? Yeah, like how would you operate? Like you'd be a lot more abundant, right? You'd be a lot more carefree. You would give generously. You would be a person of interest. You would look people in the eye. You wouldn't have this scarcity mindset because you know you've got money coming in. Abundance is not always having, but knowing you can have. So if you can meet that most abundant, successful, confident version of you and imagine how that person would operate, how you would interact with women, how you would carry yourself, where you would go in the world, what restaurants you would eat at, the supplements that you take, the food that you eat, the water that you drink, the air that you breathe, reverse engineering it. Yeah, and then what is it? Pray as if it's already been done. But anyway, that was just an esoteric Casanovian stream of consciousness. And no, this has been good, bro. I've enjoyed this. Like I say, this is I'm gonna be doing these live streams every single day for the next year. That's a commitment that I've set to myself, so I'm going to honor that commitment even when I don't want to do it, especially when I'm not in the mood for it. I'm just going to turn up, I'm just going to show up, and I'm just going to deliver as much fucking value as possible, because that's what it's about, right? Just making a generation of just wildly ambitious Renaissance warriors who have this top 1% skill set of the awake 1%. I'm just crushing it. So yeah, cool, nice one. Really hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for Saint Dane for the comment that you posted. Really well articulated. I really hope to meet you soon, bro. So yeah, get your money up and yeah, book in that call, invest. Come meet us, come travel the world with us. It's been an absolute ball, Renaissance roller coaster. Pyong, pyong, pyong. How long are we on for? 40 minutes, bro. Wow, time flies. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go sit out on my balcony, get some sunshine, get that good vitamin D, and yeah, just create more stuff, check in with my guys, and yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Also, my Airbnb host, he delivered oranges to my door, which was really nice. I really appreciate that. So he's getting a nice 5-star review. But no, listen, thank you all for joining. If you have enjoyed this, if you've been here, if you watch this live stream all the way through, then give it a like the video to show your appreciation. I'll link the free course in the comments below. So bag that, get the free course, and then you get access to the free online community. Hopefully you can meet other like-minded guys, meet a win in your city. So yeah, I'll post that now. But yeah, love you. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye, 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 bye. Stay sexy.